Once I'm debt free, all the money I have been spending trying to get out of debt will be mine to do with as I please. I'll have almost $2,000 a month to play with, but what am I going to do with all that money to actually help me going forward into the future? Hey guys, it's Dan, and after making the video where I did a high level breakdown of how much debt I'm in and my plan to get out of it, I got thinking to myself, what would I do with all of the money that I would have after I get out of debt? I've been in debt so long that I haven't even tried to think about what I would do until now. And I think that sharing what I would do with all of you would be advantageous so that you can see what I'm thinking, as well as for me to have some goals set for once I'm done. So let's get into it, shall we? First thing I'm going to do once I'm debt free is build an extensive emergency fund. I want an emergency fund fully capable of supporting me for 6 months at least. As of this current moment, I'm not sure what that number will be exactly due to any changes in cost of living that there will be, but for a rough estimate, I will use what I'm currently paying for necessities to make up this amount. So for my rent, I'm paying about $750, $755. Electric is $150, internet is $75, and about $200 for groceries, and then another $200 for miscellaneous expenses, any subscriptions, anything extra that may come up, and anything else that I can't remember and anything like that. In total, I'm looking at about $1,370 a month. For a 6-month emergency fund, I would need to have at least $8,250. And knowing how I am, I would most likely round up to $2,000 just to be safe and have an extra little bit of cushion, maybe another month, or in case something was to happen where I just need a little bit extra money one month. And so I would try to put about $10,000 away in an emergency fund. I think an emergency fund is important just in case something was to happen. I lose my job, I get hurt, or some other act of God was to come up. I would be okay for a while to get everything kind of sorted out and get back on my feet. After building a 6-month emergency fund, my next step would to be start making some investments. I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research on what I'm about to talk about and just know that this is what I'm thinking. This is just what I'm currently planning on doing as of right now. My first investment would be to max out my Roth IRA. This would be my first goal every year after making any adjustments to my emergency fund if I have to increase that. I believe for 2026, the most you can put into a Roth IRA is about $7,500 for someone under 50. So I would do my best to max that out as soon as I possibly can so it can start earning money quickly and help me for when I get to the age of retirement. And if you guys want a reason why I would choose like a Roth IRA as opposed to a traditional IRA or anything else, leave me a comment down in the comment section down below. But the second thing that I would do is I would work on investing in other stocks after my Roth is fully contributed to, and I would just be investing in the market. I would primarily focus on investing into mutual funds with little bits going into individual companies and then crypto. The reason my primary investment would be into mutual funds is because they are the safest and most well-rounded thing to my knowledge on the market. I'm not really wanting to play the high risk, high reward game, at least for right now. When it comes to how much I plan on putting into the market, as of currently, I'm thinking about planning on putting anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month into the market and into stocks so that those can just kind of compound and snowball into a big investment that will help me out in the future. My third thing that I intend on investing in is into my businesses. I want to allocate a bit more money into them than I currently do. I want to use this money for things like equipment, classes, marketing, all of those kinds of things. And the reason for this is so that I can hopefully progress them into being my main form of income and have the financial freedom to do whatever I want whenever I want. I want my businesses to be who I am, what I'm about, and not really have to rely on anything else like a regular 9-to-5 job where I have a boss to really dictate my life. I want to be the one in charge and I want to run my own thing. So I really want to invest more into them than I currently can. Finally, the last thing I will be putting money towards once my debt is all paid off will be putting money into savings for things that I want and I need. As of currently, there are two things that come to mind, one of which might get a little confused look for considering it. Something that a lot of people have problems with if you watch other financial channels is what I'm talking about. That first thing I will be saving money for is a pickup. Now, you might not think that's crazy yet, but what I want is I want to get something brand new. I can tell you're probably already rolling your eyes, but hear me out. I spent the first almost 10 years of my life that I was able to working in automotive. I've done just about everything but sell cars in that field. So I want something new that no one has abused and I can keep track of the maintenance on it. And I want and need a new truck for a few reasons. One of which being the vehicle that I drive right now is from the mid 90s, and not only is it falling apart, but the company of origin for that vehicle, which is Oldsmobile, no longer exists and it hasn't been around for a long time. So it's almost impossible to find the parts that I need to repair it with what has been going on. As well, the state that I live in, you need something four-wheel drive almost half of the year just to get around. And I like to spend time in the mountains where cars can't really go, but that's neither here nor there. I just want something that has a warranty, is reliable. I can keep track of anything that goes on with it. And I've seen so many things when it comes to used vehicles in my time in automotive. It really has put me off to purchasing a used vehicle unless I know somebody that had the vehicle before or I know the history. That may change depending on whether those factors are met, but right now I kind of intend on saving up for a brand new vehicle. But back to the financials part of this, I intend on saving for the full price of the vehicle. Even with the full price of the vehicle though, once that time comes, I may look at potentially financing 50% of the vehicle to help my credit for when I pull the trigger on the next thing that I will be saving up for, and that is a house. Now, I don't think in a reasonable amount of time I will be able to save the whole price of a house, especially with how much they fluctuate. I intend on saving for about a 30% down payment with enough to cover any repairs, remodels, or anything like that that I need to do when I decide to purchase the home. Now that's a long ways down the road, and the housing market fluctuates, like I mentioned, in a way that right now I think it's borderline impossible to have an intended amount on how much I want to save. But as time gets closer, I promise you guys will be the first to know with how much I intend on saving, what kind of house I'm looking at, and what my intentions are when that time comes. That'll probably be in 5 years, probably. But we'll just have to see and play the game, and I'll keep you guys posted on what I'm looking at when that time comes. But as of right now, that is what I'm wanting to do and what I'm planning once my debt is paid off. A nice emergency fund, investments to prepare me for the future, and saving up for some of the things that I want and I need. What do you guys think of what I'm wanting to do once my debt is paid off? Is there anything I mentioned that I shouldn't do, or is there anything that you think I should do to add to the list so that I'm even more well prepared for the future? I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. As well, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos from me talking about my financial situation and my journey to be debt free, make sure you hit that beautiful subscribe button and ring that lovely bell so that you can stay up to date with me on my journey on trying to be debt free and any other financial things that I feel like are advantageous to share. But with that, you guys, thank you all for watching. My name is Dan, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.